We're back to get wrenching.
She is a beaut, Clark.
It's no longer a Flintstone mobile.
Well, we're back in the shop post multiple snow days of waiting for that ice to melt, because it literally took like 4 days for it to melt, because every single night it kept refreezing because it got significantly below freezing, and then we had black ice and all the craziness here in South Carolina, and we do not have the infrastructure to support it, so yeah, it took a while, but we're back to get wrenching. The Pops is still nowhere to be found, which is weird. I guess he's off having a siesta or still in bed dreaming about burnouts and race cars while we're here to get wrenched on the Chevelle. But just because he's not here doesn't mean it's going to stop us like the lead brakes are going to stop the Chevelle. We got to get wrenching, and hopefully we can have this sucker done today and on the road. So let's get wrenching. So I gotta say, my first overall opinion about the lead brakes kit is that it is really easy to use and everything is there. When you've bought a really cheap brake kit off of eBay or even Facebook Marketplace, and you try to put it all together thinking you have everything and then you don't, and then you have to like piecemeal it from your parts store, it really sucks. So when you have a kit like this that's already all put together for you, that's really awesome. So far, everything has gone together really nicely. That's also something that I've noticed, and I know my dad's noticed over installing some of those knockoff kits, is that sometimes the fitment isn't right, or sometimes the parts are so universal that you have to modify them. It's pretty low on the modification scale, which is really refreshing, but the real test, of course, will be putting them to the test on the road. So once we get this one on and get everything bled and we get the thing rolling, I am really excited to try these out. We're going to have to bed them a little bit and just make sure they're well broken in. Then a burnout, I think, will be a very good judge of character for these.
Is that your shoulder that popped?
Yeah. Or maybe the elbow, I'm not sure.
Turning into James at more and more every day.
Alright. I'm packing the bearings because I do not like using bearing packers, or at least the one we have. And this is a good old-fashioned way of making it work. You just sandwich some grease in the bearing between both hands, and you're packing your bearing. But we're prepping this rotor to be installed. This is the last little piece to that puzzle.
straight?
Yep. You're flush. Alright, the full disc brake kit is now installed in the 66 Chevelle. Let's hook up these brake lines and let's get to bleeding it.
Still snow on the ground. It's been 5 days. Very, very unusual. I don't think I've ever had snow like shut down the work here where we live ever. My company, I never shut down work for snow ever. Let's go see what we're gonna get into today. Hard at work. You're working without me? Yeah, I overslept. I'm sorry.
You go back to sleep.
I got up at 7 and then took a sinus pill. And
I know you texted me like 10:15 that you're like,
I woke up
right
right at 10:15 and I was like, oh yeah, you got the brake on.
We're literally waiting for you because I want you to hook up the brake lines, the brake hoses, because you still need to like.
Cool. Let's get her on. Rock and roll.
I'm ready for you to turn around when you're ready.
Hey, what is that? Sarcasm?
No.
Like a little sneak of it? Like a little sneak sarcasm? Just because I'm a little late?
No, I'm ready for you when you're ready.
Alex is smirking like you've been just chewing my ass while I've not been here.
Well, I guess when you edit the footage, you'll find out.
Oh.
Something I gotta say though, I am wicked impressed. We have done so much electrical work to this thing with the distributor and the fans and testing all kinds of other receptacles and such, and we have yet to charge this battery. This anti-gravity battery has really stuck with us on this project. I am pretty impressed, again, given everything we put it through, and it has required 0 charging, and we have no draw on the car. At least not a significant enough one to wear that battery down. So I gotta say, if you're building something and you need a reliable battery for even just testing things, and then obviously the future of running it, anti-gravity battery is the way to go. I am wicked impressed. Ignore all of the ugly wires, but you get the point. Give it a 10. I give it a 10. Time to try the switch that Alex wired up. Look what happens when you wire it correctly.
Minor detail.
What'd you mix up?
I just mixed up the trigger side of the relay and the power side of the relay. So instead of having like 5-volt trigger, I had 30 amps trying to trigger it.
Well, you figured it out.
5 amps triggering it, I had 30 amps triggering it, and
Kept blowing a fuse.
I only blew 2 of them. One inside and one out here.
Kept
Now
blowing.
they both have 20s or 30s in them, so if you blow them, we got bigger problems.
All right. We got to figure out if we're going to patch these temporarily or if we're just going to slap the seat in. Yeah, the floors kind of suck. I think what we'll do eventually is we'll get some AMD patch panels and actually fix the floor. But for now, if you really want us to do anything, we could just throw some mats down. But yeah, we're going to have the windows down anyways. There'll be plenty of circulation. And we don't really need lights and stuff, even though he's talking about wiring lights up. We'll see. I wasn't sure about what you want to do with putting the seat in or not, because you kind of talked about a couple different like solutions to patching the floor. But I say we just slap the seat in and take it for a drive. What do you think?
Okay, I got an idea.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got the hole patch 3000 here we're gonna use. Boom. This is totally not cool, but whatever.
So I think we're gonna have to take this whole front piece, you know, the piece in front of the core support off, so that I can actually fix all these headlights.
It's not real fun to do.
No?
No, and all these bolts are real rusty. It's gonna be like, we might have to take the fenders off in order to do that.
But we want headlights, right?
We have to have headlights.
If we want to do it right, I can run new wiring. It's just not going to be really pretty, but getting into all that wiring is just next to impossible without taking that off, because everything's tucked between that and then the core support itself.
Yeah.
Plus, again, if we're going to go ahead and upgrade it to nice headlights, we might as well do the wiring the right way.
We could definitely get to the outside.
Yeah, but the inside is just, I mean, I could try to go from underneath, but there's no telling what it looks like underneath at all.
Okay, how about, what if I was able to snake new wires in there with the old wires? Like I could attach them to the old wire and pull them through. Then you had like just a new pigtail here.
I guess we could try.
I know it looks easy, but there are some bolts underneath in there, and like it's.
I know. I think the wiring that's in there, it's all literally just 2 wires. We might as well just do it right the first time.
Well, that's still doing it right. We just snake it through.
No, I know. I just think replacing it all is for sure the way to go.
Okay, I agree with you. Okay. Let's just try to keep this together.
All right. Well, then I'll take the other headlight out and then just clean all this, and then try to save all the hardware we have, and hopefully we can piecemeal this together once we get the new headlights in.
Okay, cool. Keep patching the floor pan.
Yep. The whole patch 3000. I can't find the hardware for the bumper, but I am curious as to whose science fair project this is.
It's a fuel pump.
I'm aware it's a fuel pump, but what exactly was the idea here? You trying to soak all the crap off it?
Alex put that in fuel to get it uncrapped up so that we could take it and sell it, because our whole goal was to sell it for $10 at the swap meet, but it never got taken out of the fuel and cleaned up. That fuel pump came off this car.
I'm very aware of that.
And it was so grimed up that we were like, I bet we can sell it for $10.
I'm gonna go put this back where I found it and keep hunting for bumper hardware.
It's looking pretty good. Now we're ready for the seat, at least up front. Can't see the floor. It's no longer a Flintstone mobile. What do you think?
You missed a spot.
Yeah, just a few.
The nose to cut the zip ties.
These are cool.
Be careful, those will hack your whole finger off.
Let me see.
No.
Let me try a nail.
Here. There.
Well, I played with these at the SEMA.
I know.
Oh, let me just cut these. Oh yeah.
Those will hack your finger off.
Dude. I love these.
Knipics for the win.
You guys have been working this morning. So we have it's on switch?
Yeah, it's on switch.
I love it. Both of them are working?
Yeah.
That's sweet. We're gonna stay cool. Now we really need to run this thing long enough for it to get hot.
Well, I really want to get some brake lines hooked up and at least get some fluid gravity bleeding, and then we can do whatever.
All right, I'll get on it right now. Go ahead and put it up in the air and let's knock this out.
Who do you think's gonna win today? Who's gonna go to the Super Bowl?
Whoever wins the Bills Chief game is going to be the Super Bowl champion. I'm really rooting for the Bills. They just deserve it.
You don't think it's gonna be the Chiefs and the Eagles this year?
Like I said, it's not going to matter. The AFC is definitely going to take it. It's not going to matter who the Super Bowl is, other than who wins the AFC today. Okay, that shouldn't leak. Did anybody tighten this up on the caliper? Like tight?
What? Tighten the caliper?
No, the line on the caliper.
I did, but I didn't get it to turn too much, so you want to double check that. The other side is for sure tight.
Once I get these lines hooked up, I still got some work to do on the lines themselves, just to get them lined up.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yes, I fell for the dad joke. So Alex and I came in here this morning, and we're like, why does it smell like cheap coffee creamer in here? Little did we know you opened this thing.
Oh, yeah.
This, like, scented
It's pretty awesome. Actually.
mocha latte. Well, we just thought you, like, spilled or left some old coffee in here for, like, a while.
It does smell like chocolate.
Doesn't it? Very strong.
A little less aggravation, a little more satisfaction.
You look crazy.
How many of you guys gone to your local parts store, gotten a brake line or a hose, and the little copper washer that you see here isn't in the bag or doesn't come with it, and you got to reuse the old ones? Well, the great thing about lead brakes, they make sure you have extras, and I'm loving that.
So we had to splice into the original hard line so that we could obviously lengthen the front one and send much more fluid back this way. So in doing that, we had to re-flare some lines, and we used the Eastwood flare tool that mounts into your vise, and it was awesome. It made our job super easy, created the perfect double flare, and now we have some pretty flawless, I would say, brake lines to get this thing stopping. Sorry.
Wait, you want oh crap. I wanted to wire wheel that first.
Oh, well.
Whenever you wire wheel them when they're dry or drier.
Well, yeah, you don't want to do that when they're wet.
Yeah. Oh, crap.
What?
You know how to get to this leader. I'd say we have some gear oil leakage back here, or some type of leak. I don't know that I've ever seen buildup like that around any rear drum. Look how thick that is.
Looks like it's drumming up some issues back there. What? It was too easy. A little wire brush.
Get these big chunks off, and then we'll. What in the world?
I have no idea. That one beats me. I think it's just built up. Remember, this thing was like driven through the mud too.
A lot, yeah. It'll be a freaking miracle if these break loose. I mean,
Just give that a minute.
a miracle.
I think it will. You want to try to break this one loose?
Both of them broke loose. You gotta love this car. Not one bolt has been frozen where it didn't break loose. Like, I can't believe the bleeders are.
You can't believe it.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
Okay, you ready to bring it down? Take that as a yes.
There was fluid all the way through the system when I was pulling the little blinds off.
And they're both open or just that one's
Just
open?
the ones open. Yeah. But somebody was doing burnouts with this thing because there's pieces of tire stuck in the bumper, between the car and the bumper. Check that out. A Suvi.
How did it not blow out?
Well, it blew out at some point.
No, I mean like blow out the car. Like the fender or the inner fender well.
Good old hard steel here.
That's impressive.
quite a few little critter homes in here. So when we were foraging for parts at Tim, he had this trim piece right here. And really on the back panel here, this is the only trim piece that was smashed, which is right here. And he sold us just the one. A lot of times people won't sell them unless you buy a pair, and he sold us the one for $10. Tim, you're the man. The only unfortunate thing about replacing this piece of beauty piece here is you got to take this whole square off the back of the car. In order to do that, you got to drop the bumper down. It's like, I almost didn't do it because it's kind of a pain in the butt. But once we get this on, it'll look so much better.
Probably need to yank the bumper back, huh?
Hey, nice going, girl. Nice eye.
Boom. Like it was meant to be there.
Look at that. Beauty piece on.
I love how the more you knock on it, the more that falls out of it.
Oh, we're making it lighter by the minute. For shizzle. My nizzle.
We're at the point in this build where things really start to come together quite fast, probably because they're things that we can visually see, like a seat being installed, lights being turned on, and other fun shiny things. Before the snowpocalypse, I managed to clean the bench seat really thoroughly. If you remember from the previous episodes, this car was pretty gnarly when we first got it. About the emblem, I wasn't sure if that was a custom deal, like, because the headrests are a different color, and then the buddy seat's also a different color, not to mention this little emblem, which I thought was like Chevelle Sport or something. But
I mean, I'd be surprised if this wasn't recovered, like this wasn't recovered at one point.
I think
and
this
these were not, because they didn't have to be recovered, but the seat might have had to be recovered, so they recovered that. That could have been the issue, or these are just made out of a different material and they didn't fade, or they faded and this didn't. I mean, I'd be surprised if that's the original seat, you know? I mean, this car's got to have 100,000 miles on it.
I don't know. There's a lot of weird things about this car in terms of things being in good shape, so I wouldn't put it past the seat to still be in decent shape.
Yeah, all the lines broke loose. That's crazy.
I don't think we've had a stuck bolt on this thing yet.
You gonna go through the car?
Yeah.
My back says you should go through the
car.
car.
My back's gonna say I shouldn't have done this later.
Here we go. Alright. Will it go?
I think so. I think it's pretty good. Hold on, I just gotta go over the line.
That razor blade in there on the I'm okay if you're okay.
I'm good. Alright, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try to get.
It's resting on the car, no problem.
Alright, hold on.
A little bit at a time, no problem.
I just need to move myself.
Yep, I got you.
Oh, almost went right through the floor there. Alright, you ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna step back one more time.
Dude, the seat is going in.
It is. And we didn't have to take it off the lift. Alright, ready? Final. 1, 2, 3.
go. Okay, it's kind of in place.
Oh, yep, and holding. Pope. Whew.
Hey, I've got fluid on the driver's side rear. Can you hit the pedal for me just a little bit? So the bleeder's working over here for sure. I don't know that brake cylinder's working, but at least we know it's getting fluid. All right, hold.
Holding.
All right, pump. So you're holding it all the way to the floor?
Yep.
Okay.
Allowing any,
It's got to be seized.
not allowing any fluid in or out.
Yeah. All right. There's no leaks anywhere. And our coupler, but we still got a really soft pedal. Yeah, we're stopping for the day because I was chancing the wheel cylinders actually working in this rear end, but been setting since '83. You guys saw the engine and how it was all locked up. Well, that's exactly what's going on with our wheel cylinders back here in the rear. They probably look exactly like our engine that was in this thing. So Napa's closed today. It's Sunday. We'll get those things first thing in the morning and we'll start over and get rocking and rolling and have brakes on us and go for a drive.
Yeah, that's a good way to get them stolen and ripped off. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way. Thank you.
I was in such a good mood.
Thank you. I just helped you and it was nothing. Oh. And what I get is, oh. Did they drop?
I can confirm.
That's not confirmed. So, get the thing out of my I'm aggravated now, so now it's not.
Are you serious?
What?
You ready to catch this?
it?
Shit fall out of that. All right. Everybody take a nice deep breath of the asbestos. Everybody. Nice, trust me.
Ugh, God, it looks like someone died in there.
1983.
I don't hate. I'm not a hater. I mean, she is a beaut, Clark. A beaut. This is perfect for you. This actually has more metal on it than rust. It's usually the opposite way around.
Refreshing, isn't it?
That chassis shot. I
It
love these Kmart shocks that are on here. That's what they are.
You really like this.
Big K. Kmart shocks. You gotta love it. Oh man. Yeah, well, that's how you fix it. You get a little pipe tape. Is that what you used?
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Yeah, that'll work. That'll hold.
We're getting there. We're
Listen to
going
that.
to.
You hear that? Sound of crust.
Sound of disgust.
I don't have.
Quit it!
My toast isn't that crusty.
Quit it. I'm gonna fix that.
Well, it's the next day. We got some fresh new wheel cylinders. We're going to pop these on the rear and hopefully we can make this thing stop. Yesterday we ran into a lot of issues. I think what happened was there was just so much air still on the line in the rear and it was just building up inside of these and they're all seized up that it's worth replacing. So we got to get wrenching and then as soon as we get this done, we might actually be able to drive this thing today. Well, you're extra prepared today.
What do you mean?
Nice shirt.
Well, I thought you were talking about my attitude. But yes, I do have high hopes today.
Well, hopefully you have a good attitude too, but the shirt makes up for a bad attitude if you have one.
Now you're talking doo-doo.
Put a little light on the subject, huh?
This looks like a great job for you.
Pretty nasty. Looks a little mummified if you ask me.
There's no telling what you're gonna find in there.
Nothing a little wire brush if the brake cleaner can't fix.
What is it with all the Raiders of the Lost Ark cobwebs that we run into with these cars?
shoes are kind of cool though.
Yeah,
Don't see those as often.
freaking original equipment.
Which is why I'm like, there's a lot of asbestos here.
You want a mask?
Probably.
Yeah. Probably take an air gun and just blow all that out.
Yeah, just into the air it goes.
Well, I'll turn the vacuum on while we do it.
Oh, yeah.
And just.
Where's your little fancy tool?
Well, it's not fancy. It's Harbor Freight. Well, if we just take this off and do this,
Well, that's what I
then
figured.
we won't have to take it all the way off. That's what I'm hoping. This tool is completely worn out. It's come on,
So close.
but so far. So far away.
There you go.
Put this bad boy on last.
Nice.
So hopefully we can just loosen those nuts.
Thing's pretty frozen. I know.
We'll wire wheel all this, get it cleaned up. Boom. Perfect. We just got to put all that on.
These look pretty good.
I think the internals is what
Oh,
smoked,
yeah.
you know. So we'll make it like brand new. Make it like brand new, man. Where's the big hammer? Sorry, girl. Uh-oh. Broke the drum.
You really break the drum?
Oh yeah.
Crack it?
Yeah, it's just the dust cover part. It's not,
okay.
it's not the brake surface itself, but it'll be a little unbalanced. Yeah, it'll come right loose for you. Oh yeah.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Interesting.
You want to just knock down the edges.
Huh? Yeah.
It's just, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you look at the other one, it's a hair bit more rounded.
They have the same function, but they're casted a little different.
Why would that be?
Got me. It's typical.
Okay, I thought you were saying that they're
Historical
side specific.
drama.
That's where you got me. I was like,
Yeah.
huh?
No, they're definitely not
Okay.
right and left, but
That
you got the other bolt. How you doing over there, kid?
Pretty good. I'm trying to disassemble it the least amount I have to.
Yeah. How's it look?
You know, like a brake.
Oh wow, why'd you take it all the way apart?
It disassembled itself.
You create more work for us over there, boy?
Yes, 100%.
I tried not to, and it just keeps disassembling itself.
It's a sight to see over there.
I tried to keep it all together. It did not want to stay together, so it came apart.
Blame the drum. We'll go with that. This is also different from the one we put over there.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have two of the same part number.
They were supposed to be the same part number. They are not.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. This side just fell off.
Melted off.
Yeah, it just was like, hey.
We are streamlining.
Perfect. Already adjusted.
Adjusted for burnouts, that's for sure. All right, made quick work of putting these brake cylinders on. Now we're gonna see if we can pump them up and get some brakes. I think we have our master cylinder just a little too tight, so I am trying to fix that.
Yep, you're good. Yep. I mean, if we stop, that's all that matters. Since we don't have any headlights installed in this thing, we have to get crafty with it. So the Eastwood very bright LED light is going to be our substitute for this evening. Perfect. Nice.
Dude, that's tall, isn't it? Looks like a NASCAR race engine.
It does. Am I good to use the lift arms?
Yep.
Whoa, it's been a minute since we've been able to do this.
No kidding, this is like a big deal.
We need some air in this rear tire though. Ready to drive the Chevelle?
I think we've done enough to where we can actually pull it out. It has brakes. It has alternator. We've got good power battery. Carburation is worked out. Now it's just test the transmission. We still probably need to put a little more fluid in the transmission, so we want to fire it up and see if we can get it warmed up.
You say all this like it's been proven, but nothing on this car is proven.
No.
So this is a great test for everything.
I think we've set ourselves up for an epic fail.
I just call it blissful optimism.
Okay, I'll go with it.
To move your charger out, we fire this thing up?
Yep.
All right. You ready to rock and
This
roll?
thing is so cool looking. I'm not kidding you. The stance on it, without us doing anything, is really bad.
The big block on the front? Yeah, I know.
All right, fire it up. Good. This has been the best adventure.
This
Dude, we just put exhaust on the thing, patch the floor pans, put the front bumper on, and go drive.
that was the most rewarding yet lame drive ever.
I'm sorry, there was nothing lame about it at all. You know, other than it being dark, maybe we're gonna have to get it out tomorrow. We can take it for a drive.
Yeah, once we can actually see, I think this thing's gonna be super rad.
All right, food truck tacos. All right, you got it.
What, you just gonna leave me hanging or what?
Well, I didn't know you went like this.
You went like this.
Okay, but you did too, I thought. I don't have my glasses on.
Don't say you're blind.
Gosh.
We're back in the shop to get wrenched on the Chevelle. Today we are gonna nail down getting some brake lights, and we're gonna fix the rag joint that my dad pulled out, because this was the status of the one that I'm pretty sure was from '66. I found a universal one at the parts store that is passable for now. I think it's gonna work. I hope. It's definitely gonna be better than this, because I had quite a struggle trying to turn the car the other night with this, because every time I turn it, it would either spring forward or spring back, because there was so much elasticity left in this thing, and it was just crumbling into pieces, like all these holes are wall. It's pretty bad. Then I also got a brand new brake light switch from Napa, because those are always roached out by the time we get to them. So replacement for that, and then we gotta find some bulbs, and we've got to whip the power probe out, make sure all that wiring's still good, and then once we nail that down, we can take this thing for a cruise. Boop. So if you're not familiar with what brake light switches are, they're pretty much just a basic momentary switch where one of these prongs coming from your vehicle's harness will have power constantly, and then the other side, when you make contact in the switch itself, like so, it basically just completes the circuit and sends power back to your taillights. So if for some reason your brake lights aren't working when, you know, all this is actually correctly hooked up underneath your dash, the best thing to start with is replacing the switch, because yes, I've seen some older ones work just fine, but these things are such a weak link. It's just worth replacing them, because even on the most expensive side, I think we've paid like 20 bucks for one of these, and it's just not worth the headache of not having brake lights. The best way to test too and make sure you actually have power running through your harness, our favorite, a power probe, or you can use one of the voltage meters that you can just get from your local parts store. Literally all it is 2 wires coming out of your harness. I know it's probably a little hard to see, but if you look at the power probe, one side will have power, this side has 14.3 volts, this side has no power, which means everything is working as it should in the harness. So all you gotta do is plug this baby and some elbow grease into your harness, and you have your switch. Can you go to the back and see if I have lights, Alex?
That's a no.
A lot of cars tend to have the grounding either via some sort of piece of like hardware, like a screw or something, and it's just pigtailed off, or in this case, these suckers ground to the socket, because the housing for your light is actually made out of metal, and then that is directly connected to your body. So as you can see right here, there's a little metal tab. Some of them have metal all the way around too, but they have metal tabs like this. Those are so that you're making a ground contact, because all they do is run power directly to these, basically for either turn signals, reverse, or brake lights, or even running lights. You may have to make sure you get a good ground. Somebody splicing into this is quite a possibility that we may just not have sufficient power. So currently we have one successful brake light. We left the momentary switch out, so when it's just dangling like this, leaving it out leaves the circuit open so that we can test all this. We got 1 out of 2 so far, so that's exciting. These sockets are pretty darn worn out though, so as you can see, it just has to make contact. It's just weird. And we're also mixing some bulbs here, because I actually really prefer putting the LED bulbs in. They're way better, and if you accidentally leave them on, the chances of them draining your battery is a lot lower, and they don't get very hot, which is nice. See, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So one thing that I absolutely love about the Power Probe is not only it sends 12 volts or whatever power source you have it connected to, but can also send to ground, or you can connect it with one of the clips that are on it. This is just the basic PP3. This thing is pretty no frills and easy to use, but it comes with a little clip here, and this will send ground to whatever you need it to. So in testing this socket, I just put this onto one of the grounding tabs, and it already has power running through because we've made sure that it goes through our circuit. And let's see, woo, we have power. So you can see that socket has intermittent power. Since that original socket proved to be faulty, we just went ahead and replaced it with a brand new one. Boom, new socket. All right, let me go mess with that switch really quick. Tell me if they go on, off, please. Ready?
Yep. Off. On.
Woo!
So last night when Caroline pulled into the bay, her last turn into the bay, I noticed she was sawing on the wheel to make the car turn, and I thought that was really odd. So when we got it on the lift, I looked under here and the rag joint is completely blown out. As a matter of fact, I don't know that I've ever seen one like this. Just it's pretty jacked up. So we were using just the rag joint to turn with, and it wasn't very responsive. So we got us a new one. We're going to pop it in here, and hopefully this thing will steer a little more safely. Pretty amazing that we go from this to this. So old rag joint, new rag joint. Little universal kit that came from Napa. Pretty easy, simple, but that is defying death. Getting back in the shop without it breaking. It's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, how do you get around you is what I was trying to do.
Well, just checking the fluids. Tighten the distributor down.
About time.
We didn't have that tight when we went for a little test ride last night. Yeah,
I think this warrants a cup of coffee. You want to get one?
yeah, absolutely.
You want to go take this?
Of course.
I mean, it's
It
daylight.
has no exhaust on it. It has no plate.
It has brake lights.
And it has actual steering now.
That's good.
Yeah, because we almost died last night and didn't know it.
I'm the one who was steering. I'm aware. It was terrifying. And you're like, just steer it. It doesn't have power steering. And I'm like, I know.
All right, well, who's driving?
I'm not right. No.
What?
Can I get over 1,000 RPMs? Take that as a yes. I tried.
Look at that wheel's even straight. You got some stereoage.
Ready? It's a runner.
No seatbelts. You gotta turn this a lot. There you go.
here.
It sounds pretty solid, quite honestly. I think I'm pretty impressed with it.
Did you see the woman we were rolling in? She was like, she was so bothered by our presence.
Snooty.
All right,
Turn that off.
let's get a cup of Joe.
Good.
I would call this a successful way to end this build.
What are you talking about? This is awesome. Look, the snow has gone away. We've got 65-degree weather out here.
That's nice.
This is why we live in Hilton Head.
It doesn't suck, that's
Right.
for sure.
You know? And Chevelleism is alive and well.
I'm impressed. I don't think I have any other word for it than impressed, because this is truly one of the most hodgepodge builds we've ever done.
But it's slick.
It's solid,
Yeah.
it's slick. It has a few little issues, but nothing that isn't very easily fixable.
I love it. I think it's great. I love the looks of it. I don't really want to change the looks of it too much. I just want to make it more solid on the inside.
Yeah.
Just make all the guts better. Just the better floor pans. I want the transmission to work better. I want, it to be tuned a little better, obviously. And I think we can do all that. Put a pretty good exhaust system on it. I think that would be really cool.
Open headers,
Yeah, open headers. Hey, and the suspension. We can work on the suspension, and they're so fun to tune the suspension on this car. We can do whatever we want with it. I mean, this car's going to be bad to the bone.
I am just so happy because my 18-year-old self that saw your 66 Chevelle is really happy. Like, this feels like a legitimate full circle moment.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just so fun because I remember seeing that car. That was the reason why I fell in love with these Chevelles and this body style. And ever since I've seen people we know who have one, and at car shows, I'm like, oh, we need to build one of those one day. And now here we are. It's just cool. It's a fun and really awesome feeling.
Yeah.
I think we did a pretty good
Cheers.
job.
Good job. We had some great help with this build too. Jegs, first off, they were on board immediately when we first got this car. Gotta love them, Anti-gravity battery. That thing has been bomb-proof, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we have not charged it not one time. We probably charged it last night when we drove it, and we charged it when we drove it over here, and that is it.
But we haven't actually plugged it into a 110 outlet.
No.
Which is impressive. We were in the back today testing the sockets, and I had 14 bolts.
Anti-gravity batteries, they're the way to go. And then, who else we got? We got lead brakes.
Can't forget lead. I am very impressed. I think we need to dial them in a little more, bleed them maybe once more, but when you drive it, you'll understand what I'm saying. They're almost flawless. So once we dial it in, it'll be beautiful. And then Tim, we got to thank Tim.
Tim, our parts guy that we ran into when we went and got the 356. Tim, you're the man. Without some of the stuff that we got, the front bumper, the trim piece on the back,
The radiator.
it was like the one-stop shop. We came home with all the parts to make this run and drive. Thanks, Tim.
Tim was the guy with the gifts that just keep on giving, because in the next episode, we still have more Tim parts to install.
Okay, I'm driving.
All right, let's go.